The courtroom doors swung open, and everyone turned. In his tailored navy suit, Ethan Cole, the billionaire CEO known for his ice-cold composure, walked in to finalize his divorce. Cameras flashed, whispers spread like wildfire. The mighty business mogul was finally cutting ties with his estranged wife. But then, he froze. There, standing at the end of the aisle, was Amelia, his wife, the woman he hadn't seen in 3 years. Her eyes no longer held the same softness, they carried storms of pain. And beside her stood 2 little children, twins, a boy and a girl, holding her hands tightly. The color drained from Ethan's face. Because those children had his eyes. And in that moment, the courtroom meant nothing. The divorce papers meant nothing. All he could whisper was, "Amelia, whose children are those?" The judge called his name, but Ethan couldn't move. The truth was about to destroy everything he thought he knew, and maybe, save what he'd forgotten how to love. Ethan Cole had everything: power, wealth, and an empire built from sleepless nights and ruthless ambition. But behind closed doors, his marriage was collapsing brick by brick. 3 years ago, his obsession with success had turned their home into a battlefield. Amelia had begged him to slow down, to see her, to be there for their love, but Ethan's answer was always the same: "I'm doing this for us." Only us didn't exist anymore. Amelia had walked away quietly one stormy night. No fights, no tears, just a letter on his desk. "You've already lost me, Ethan. I hope someday you find what truly matters." He never searched for her. His pride wouldn't let him. He buried himself in work, convincing himself that love was a distraction. Until now. When the court date for their final hearing arrived, he felt empty. No anger, no relief, just silence. He expected Amelia to come alone, to sign and disappear for good. But the sight that greeted him that morning shattered his world. 2 children, maybe 3 years old. The girl clutched a small stuffed bear, the boy hid shyly behind Amelia's leg. Both had curly brown hair, and those same gray eyes he saw in the mirror every morning. When Amelia looked at him, her lips trembled, but she stayed silent. Ethan's lawyer leaned in, whispering, "Mr. Cole, are we proceeding?" But Ethan's gaze was locked on the twins. "Why didn't you tell me?" he whispered, voice shaking for the first time in years. Amelia blinked rapidly, holding her children closer. "Because you wouldn't have listened then," she said quietly. "You were too busy being a king to remember how to be a father." Those words struck deeper than any courtroom verdict ever could. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. The image of those children, his children, haunted him. He replayed every memory, every missed call, every night Amelia had sat waiting while he chose meetings over moments. He wasn't angry. He was ashamed. And for the first time, the billionaire who could buy anything felt powerless, because what he'd lost couldn't be bought back. But Ethan Cole didn't give up easily. Not on his company. And this time, not on his family. A week later, Ethan arrived at the small town where Amelia had been living quietly all these years. Gone was the arrogant CEO, he came dressed simply, nervously clutching a small toy car and a teddy bear in his hands. He found Amelia outside a modest cafe, the twins playing near her. She froze when she saw him. "You shouldn't be here," she said coldly. "Maybe not," he replied softly, "but I need to be." The little boy looked up curiously. "Mommy, who is he?" Amelia hesitated. "He's just someone I used to know." The words sliced through Ethan's chest. But instead of anger, he smiled and knelt to the twins' height. "Hi there. I'm Ethan." The boy grinned shyly. "I'm Noah. This is my sister, Emma." "Nice to meet you, Noah and Emma," he said gently, his voice trembling. "Those are beautiful names." As days passed, Ethan kept visiting. Not as a billionaire, but as a man trying to earn back a family. He learned how to make pancakes, read bedtime stories, and even got scolded for burning toast. Slowly, the walls around Amelia's heart began to crack. One evening, as the twins slept, Amelia sat across from him. "Why now, Ethan? After everything?" He took a deep breath. "Because I realized I built towers, but I never built a home." I thought success was measured in profit, but it's measured in presence. You and the kids, you're the only thing that ever mattered. Tears welled up in Amelia's eyes. For years, she'd waited for those words. You hurt me, Ethan. You chose the world over us. Then let me spend the rest of my life choosing you over the world, he said firmly. Weeks turned into months. The tabloids soon caught wind of Ethan's transformation. The once ruthless CEO now spotted at school events, carrying lunchboxes instead of briefcases. And one day, standing again in that same courtroom where everything began, Ethan didn't bring divorce papers, he brought a ring. I came here once to end my marriage, he said, his voice steady. But today, I'm here to start it again, for real this time. The courtroom erupted in emotion. Amelia's tears turned into a smile as she whispered, yes. Noah clapped. Emma giggled. And as Ethan pulled his family into his arms, the world outside finally faded away. Sometimes it takes losing everything to realize what truly matters. Love isn't built on luxury, it's built on time, forgiveness, and the courage to change. Because even billionaires can go bankrupt in love. Until they decide to invest their heart again.